Okay, today we are going to discuss the transit of Saturn. So, same combinations. Actually, Saturn also aspect 159, 3711. So, generally, whether it is 159 or 3711 gives the same result. If transit Saturn aspects Sun, here before going into the details, Saturn is actually karma karaka, that is we know. So karma means profession. And moreover, Saturn is work. Saturn is actually laziness. Saturn denotes delays. Saturn is actually rheumatic and gastric related planet. Okay. So generally these type of health problems, rheumatic, gastric related, or when it comes to particularly work related delays and disturbances, so like this, and karma related planet. So when transit Saturn aspects friendly planets, it will help. For example, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter. For these three planets, generally whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Mercury, natal Venus, natal Saturn, the native will get benefits, no doubt. Though these planets are associated with enemy planets. For example, Mercury is conjoined with Moon and Ketu. Generally, the native always incur losses in his business or whatever land he purchases, he will get losses, land related business, and even education also. If it is a student, there will be educational breaks. So like that we will predict in general. But whenever transit Saturn aspects Mercury, which is conjoined with Moon, Ketu, Mars, then the native will not incur losses in business and the native will not fail. He will pass. Because Saturn will try to save his friend Mercury. Saturn will try to save his friend Mercury. So in the similar way, if Saturn aspects enemy planets like Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, then it will give disturbances. So now let us discuss. If transit Saturn aspects natal Sun in our horoscope, Sun is here. Whenever Saturn transits in transit aspects Sun, natal Sun, Sun is actually father. So Sun is actually enemy to Saturn. That's why there will be professionalists. Saturn is actually profession. So that's why there will be professionally, there will be harassment, there will be disturbances from the senior officers. The native will get some financial stress, disputes with son or father. So here Sun is father, Sun is male progenitor. So whenever Saturn aspects Sun, the native will have disputes with the son or father, and the native will have disputes with superior officers. There will be professional harassment. There will be troubled by the government because Sun is government, and there will be uneasiness. They don't want to do anything during this transit. This is hazard. Hazard means danger. So danger to father in the profession. Even father will also get harassment by new officer in his profession, and there will be ill health to father. So here, Sun generally gives name and fame. Sun generally gives popularity. So but here, as Saturn is aspecting enemy Sun, so the native is getting here negative result, not positive result. Suppose the same Sun is conjoined with Jupiter. Jupiter is the friend of Saturn. So that's why, suppose Saturn and transit Saturn is aspecting natal Jupiter and natal Sun, then the native will get, surprisingly here, the native will get promotion, because Sun is promotion, Sun is name and fame. Why? Because here Jupiter is the native. The native will get position. Here Saturn is work governing planet. It gives a job. It gives promotion in the job. So that's why we have to check whether there are any yogas or not. Suppose Jupiter and Sun, that is Jivatma Samyoga. In the similar way, Saturn and Jupiter, Dharma Karmadi Yoga, and Jupiter plus Ketu. So Jupiter combinations, any Jupiter combination is there, whether the planets are enemy to Saturn or not, it does not make any difference. So for example, Jupiter and Ketu are together. Ketu is enemy to Saturn. But here, whenever transit Saturn aspects Jupiter Ketu, the native will be promoted. So here promotion means he will leave the present job, and he will be promoted to uh, the present position. He will leave the present position, and he will be promoted. Okay. So even transfer also, he will be transferred for better place. He will transfer to some better place. So like this, we have to check whether Sun is conjoined with any friendly planet of Saturn. Suppose Mercury, Sun are together. Mercury is education. Sun is here, though enemy to Saturn. Here Saturn is giving the result of Sun. The result of Mercury. Mercury is education, Mercury is business. Definitely, if transit Saturn aspects natal Mercury, natal Sun together, so if Venus is conjoined with, if Mercury is conjoined with Sun, definitely the native will pass the examination. Here, Sun is actually success. Sun is name and fame. Sun is Safalata, success. That's why the native will pass the examination. The native will get success in business. The native will get profits in business. The native will get landed profits. So like this, we have to check Sun is conjoined with any friendly planet of Saturn or not. Suppose transit Saturn is aspecting natal moon. What are the significations of moon? Moon is loss. Moon is vyabhichar, prostitution. Moon is here bad habits. Moon is fickle mindedness. Moon is change. Moon is transfer. Moon is loss, expenditure. So the whole 2.5 years, whenever transit Saturn is aspecting, the whole 2.5 years, the native will suffer losses. He will incur losses. He will have high expenditures. Suppose moon is with Rahu, the expenditures will be more. But at the same time, moon and Rahu, they denote foreign travel. So Saturn is karma. For livelihood, for a living, they will go to foreign country. So here moon is actually traveling. So foreign travel. Moon plus Rahu, foreign travel. Moon plus Ketu also foreign travel. If Saturn aspects moon and Ketu, foreign travel. But at the same time, moon Rahu, moon Ketu should be connected to Saturn in the natal chart, because Saturn is profession. On profession, these people will go abroad. So like that, we have to check. And if transit Saturn aspects moon, definitely there will be transfer, change of job or change of profession. I observe in many charts, so Sade Sati, generally that is 7.5 years. But we don't have Sade Sati. We have only, if transit Saturn is transiting over, not aspect 1 for 9 to 711, I am talking about only transiting over moon, those 2.5 years, definitely the native will change his job, the native will change his profession, the native will change his place of working. So like this, he will move over to some other place. So generally in our life, active life 60 years. So this will happen only in the second round of Saturn. Whenever second time Saturn is going to transit over moon, definitely, so it may be around 30 years or it may be 40 or 45 years depending on the fixed horoscope. So second time whenever transit Saturn aspects moon, definitely the native will change his profession. I myself changed my profession, and I was actually a principal working in a college before 16 years ago. It is around 16 years. But when I changed my profession into spirituality, this astrology and this field, so at that time particularly my Saturn was on. So this generally will take place. Suppose if it is a job holder, he will continue his job up to this time. So whenever transit Saturn is transiting over moon, definitely he will change his profession and he may start his own business. He will start his own organization. Suppose some people like we observe these people like Arvind Kejriwal. So they took voluntary retirement and they joined politics and they established a political party. And now he is in politics and he is CM. So if we observe these people's horoscope, definitely whenever Saturn aspects or Saturn is transiting over moon, these people change their profession or they will be transferred to another place or they will get promotion when if Jupiter and moon are together. In the horoscope, Jupiter, moon are together, the native will get promotion and transfer and promotion at a time whenever transit Saturn aspects natal moon and natal Jupiter. So Jupiter and moon is here, promotion, transfer and promotion immediately. Whoever has Jupiter and moon in their horoscope, they are in, for example, in job, definitely they will get promotion whenever transit Saturn aspects moon, Rahu, moon, Jupiter. These people definitely rise to highest positions in their job or organization, whatever organization they are working in. Okay. So generally, if transit Saturn aspects only moon is not connected to any planet, then what will happen? Transfer, change of place, change of profession, change of business, change of place, loss in business, loss in job, loss of job, unnecessary blames, humiliating circumstances to the native. There will be high expenditure, there will be debts, there will be loans, the native will be cheated, and cold kapha related problems. The native may go abroad, foreign travel, and the native will be on traveling always those 2.5 years. And the native may have adultery, resort to adultery, vichara, because if Jupiter and moon are together, and already we have discussed some sex yoga, that is Venus moon Rahu, Venus moon, Venus Mercury, Venus moon Rahu, and Mercury moon Rahu, moon Mars. These combinations generally, if anybody has, and they are connected to Jupiter in the horoscope. So whenever transit Saturn aspects moon along these combinations, the native will have some illicit relations. Those 2.5 years. And you see, all of a sudden, some people will start after 30 years, 20 years, 30 years, they will start drinking, smoking. They are very good people. They were very good people in the past. But suddenly, these people get some bad habits. Whenever transit Saturn transiting over natal moon. If moon is with Mercury Rahu, that is we have to check whether they have such yoga or not. All of a sudden, these people will start doing like behaving like this, and they will start drinking alcohol and smoking, this type of bad habits, or having illicit relations. They were good in the past, but whenever transit Saturn aspects, these 2.5 years, they will drink more and more. And later, when Saturn leaves the house where natal moon is posited, then they will stop again. Because they are good people, but due to some forces of circumstances, they may be addicted. Later, they will realize and they will stop again. They will stop again. Suppose this moon and Jupiter are together and Jupiter is retro, so some people it will continue around 5 years because Jupiter is retro. So Jupiter means here 5 years. That's why after 5 years they will enjoy, but later they will realize. So like this, bad habits the native may get if transit Saturn aspects natal moon. And a mother may go or become ill and she will undergo some surgery or operation, and mother will get some gastric and rheumatic pains because Saturn is gastric and rheumatic pain. Even father also. If Saturn aspects Sun, the father may get some gastric and rheumatic pains. But the problem will be very serious if moon is with Sun in the horoscope and with moon is connected with Saturn in the horoscope and Sun is connected to Saturn in the horoscope, father will suffer. And moon is connected to Saturn in the horoscope, mother will suffer. So like this, gastric related problems the native will get. And Mars is ego planet. Mars is argument. So whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Mars, there will be arguments only in where at workplace because Saturn is work. So there will be unrest in profession field, mental tensions, professional harassment from seniors, quarrels, disputes with superior officers at workplace, obstacles to income, disputes with husband for female natives. So Mars is husband here. Whenever transit Saturn aspects Mars, the native will get disputes. And one more thing I want to tell you, suppose Mars and Ketu are together in female horoscope, generally the native may be detached from her husband. That means divorce or separation. So Jupiter is transit, Jupiter is aspecting Mars, some female native will get married because Mars is husband, Mars is marriage for female native. And at the same time, transit Saturn is also aspecting, then immediately they will get marriage and within days they will be separated because Saturn is also aspecting Mars. Saturn is also aspecting Mars. If Jupiter and Saturn both are aspecting Mars, that's why you see generally some people will get married within 2 days, within 5 days, they will get separated. But we have to check Mars is with Ketu or not. First, whether the native has, the female native has diverse yoga or not. Otherwise, we should not predict. So there will be only tensions and disturbances at home. So she will have arguments with her husband, but there will be no problem. And like this, if transit Saturn aspects natal Mars, unrest in profession, mental tension, professional harassment from seniors, quarrels, disputes with superior officers at workplace, obstacles to income, disputes with husband for female native, disputes with brothers because Mars is siblings, and if the native is female, husband will experience all these bad effects in the professional field, and husband may get job. So husband may get job, but there will be disturbances even for husband also regarding profession and Mercury. So far we have discussed enemies, Sun, Moon and Mars enemies. That's why all negative results. But when it comes to Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, these are friends to Saturn. That's why there will be positive result. When we were discussing transit Jupiter, So what we discussed here will be repeated. Suppose transit Jupiter aspects natal Mercury, what did we discuss? Education success for students, and Mercury is business. So profits in business, and Mercury is land. So there will be land related benefits, and Mercury is friends, help from friends. Like that we have discussed. In the similar way, if transit Saturn aspects natal Mercury, the same thing will be repeated here. Education success for students. If it is a student, he will succeed definitely. Suppose some students will come. So will I pass the examination or not? Saturn is aspecting Mercury. Then we can say yes, you will pass. New knowledge and professional training. So it is a kind of professional training. Now you are what you are learning. I think your Jupiter is aspecting your natal mark, or your Saturn is aspecting your natal mark, Mercury. So when Jupiter or Saturn aspecting in transit, aspecting natal Mercury, definitely the native will learn something new, professional training, particularly astrology, this type of courses also, occult sciences also, because Mercury is astrology. And Mercury is business, so there will be profits in business and commercial activities. Mercury is land, so landed benefits. Mercury is land, so purchase of lands and starting a new commercial enterprise, expansion of business, cooperation of friends, auspicious effects generated by intimates, and easy-going mood in the professional field, help, support from friends. So all good. So you can predict everything, auspicious events, auspicious things are going to take place during the transit of Saturn over natal Mercury, or transit Saturn aspects natal Mercury. So education success, profits in business, and landed gains, and cooperation from friends. So here we have to check Mercury in the natal chart. If Mercury is conjoined with friends like Venus or Mercury, Mercury is conjoined with Venus, Jupiter, Sun, or Rahu, then whenever transit Saturn aspects Mercury with these friendly combinations, for friendly means Mercury friends. Okay, Mercury friends are here, Jupiter, we can say Mercury is friend only in terms of education only. Okay, so Mercury is with Jupiter, you can predict education success. He can get admission into university. So Mercury is with Venus, he can get admission into even university. And Mercury is with Rahu, he will get admission into university, and he will get ranks. It may be competitive examinations or any examination. He will get highest ranks. The same Mercury, for example, with the Moon, Mars and Ketu, enemy planets. Already the native is suffering from this problem. So that's why he always fail in the examinations. But whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Mercury, which is conjoined with its enemies, Moon, Mars, Ketu, Saturn will help his friend Mercury. That's why the native will pass, but we are not sure he would get highest marks. But Mercury, Moon, Mars, Ketu, no education yoga. But Jupiter not transit Jupiter, natal Jupiter aspects natal Mercury. When natal Mercury is conjoined with its enemies, the dosha will be warded off. So, suppose Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, Ketu, Moon are together, then also the native will get ranks whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Mercury. So like this, we have to predict whether the native will get ranks or only ordinary pass. He will pass only with minimum marks. Okay. And in the similar way, even profession, business also, if Venus is with, if Mercury is with Venus or Jupiter or Rahu, then definitely the native will incur, the native will get profits. Mercury is with moon, Ketu, and at the same time, Mercury is with moon, Ketu, Mars, then the native will not incur losses. Whenever transit Saturn aspects Mercury, he will try to help his friend to dispose his land. He will try to help his friend come out of land dispute. But definitely there will be land dispute, but he will come out of that dispute. Because Saturn will help his friend Mercury to come out of the landed dispute. So like this we have to discuss. We have to predict. And next, transit Saturn is aspecting natal Jupiter. Jupiter is the GV and Saturn is karma. Karma means here profession or anything. So that's why whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Jupiter, Jupiter is the native, so he will get a job if he is jobless. He will get job, new job if he is jobless. He will get promotion and prestige and promotion in the job if he has already job. If he has already job, if transit Saturn aspects natal Jupiter and moon, he will get a transfer and at the same time promotion also. So there will be development, professional growth. So the native credibility here will be there. And the native will get respect and unique opportunity of being associated with prestigious persons in the field. Because Saturn will be on Jupiter 2.5 years. It is a long period actually. So the native will get professional stability, no doubt. He will get professional stability. So that's why he will get promotion and he will be associated with great people and prestigious people and friendship with big personalities. But the native will get gastric related, stomach related problem. So if Jupiter is with Saturn in his horoscope, if the native is in politics, Jupiter and Sun are together, he will win elections. Whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Jupiter, natal Sun. Though Sun is enemy to Saturn, because Sun is here conjoined with Jupiter, that is Jivatma Samyoga. This is a yoga. So here we have to check yoga only. So whenever transit Saturn aspects Jupiter and Sun, the native will win in the elections if he is a politician, or the native will succeed, he will get promotion, he will get high position. And when it comes to Venus, Venus is also friend to Saturn. So whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Venus, whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Venus, prospects of acquiring a wife, a girlfriend or finance and marriage prospects for male native. So here you see Mercury is wife, Mercury is marriage for male native. If Jupiter aspects Venus, the native will get marriage. Even transit Saturn aspects natal Venus also, during that period the native will get marriage. And moreover, Venus is not only marriage wife, it gives us money, wealth, assets, comforts, luxuries, house, vehicle. That's why during this period, we should wait for whenever transit Jupiter aspects natal Venus, we have to wait. Whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Venus, you start, if you want to start a construction of house, you take the decision then. Because those 2.5 years, you will be able to construct your house, no doubt. And you will purchase house, vehicle, luxury, and gold, like this jewelry. So this is good time to get marriage, to get children, female children you will get during that time. And at the same time, financial benefits and purchase of house, purchase of vehicle, purchase of assets, financial stability will be there. Sudden windfall in profession, because Saturn is profession, Venus is money. So suddenly you will get salary hike, sudden windfall. And wife or female native will be dedicated to her domestic duties. For some time, wife will suffer from laziness and rheumatic complaints here, because Venus is wife and Saturn is rheumatic. So rheumatic complaints, the female native or wife. Wife or daughter will get job, no doubt, because Venus is wife, Venus is daughter, Venus is daughter-in-law, Venus is sister. So these people generally will get a job, because Saturn is karma, job. Karma is here profession. And Saturn is aspecting Saturn. Saturn is already work governing planet. Work governing planet is power again on work governing planet. That means there will be additional work. You see, sometimes one governor will rule two states. So two states. So that means he will have additional work. So heavy work, additional work, work tension will be there. Troubles will be there. So again now Rahu Ketu enemies. Whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Rahu, there will be foreign travel. If Moon and Rahu are together, and we should check these Moon and Rahu are connected to Jupiter or not. If it is Jupiter, the native will go. If it is Sun, the native's male progeny will go. If Venus is there, the native's daughter will go abroad or wife will go abroad. So, like this, we have to check. If Rahu is aspecting Moon Rahu, there will be foreign travel, because Rahu is foreign. And sometimes when Saturn is aspecting Rahu, Rahu is single, it is not connected to any planets, then the native will get low salary, low paid salary. Low paid salary jobs. And at the same time, the native will purchase big vehicles like Venus Rahu are together in the horoscope, and professional disturbances, legal problems, unethical deeds, corruption, death in the house. Whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Rahu, there will be death in the house, no doubt. Somebody will die. It may be grandfather or grandmother or father's siblings, mother siblings, maybe even father, mother. So we have to check who will die. So we will discuss death in detail in other chapters. So whenever Saturn aspects Rahu, there will be some death. And the native will get legal problems, because Rahu is corruption. The native, without his knowledge, he may be involved in corruption and he may be arrested, or he will get legal problems. But Rahu is with, for example, Venus, he will purchase big house, big vehicle. Rahu is with Moon, he will go foreign travel. And now Ketu, this is very important planet. Saturn is actually karma, and Ketu is bandhana, arrest. Ketu is here, bandhana. So karma will be closed here. Whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Ketu, the native will become unemployed. So the native will be unemployed and he will lose his job. He will be terminated, or he will have to resign his job. So he will be vexed with the job. He may be terminated. He will have to resign his job. So there will be professional disturbances, no aim, no ambition. And there will be legal problems also if Ketu is connected with, for example, Mars, IET or CBI or ACP rights, ED attachments, and litigation, disputes, arrest, and imprisonment. So these are all Mars Ketu combinations. If transit Saturn aspects Mars Ketu, there will be litigation disturbances. And moreover, the native will visit holy places whenever transit Saturn aspects Ketu. Okay.
So pilgrimage, right?
Yes, pilgrimage.
Okay.
Yes, pilgrimage. Holy place means the native will go on pilgrimage. So recently, 2-3 months ago, I went to Haridwar. My transit Saturn is aspecting my Ketu. Okay. So this is common. Even Jupiter also. Even transit Jupiter aspects Ketu, the native will go on pilgrimage. Even transit Saturn aspects natal Ketu, the native will go to pilgrimage. Even transit Saturn aspects Ketu, the native will study Vedas and Vedic knowledge. He will get occult sciences. He will learn occult sciences. Learning occult sciences also. We can also add here learning occult sciences. Learning occult sciences. Okay, so now you comparatively you discuss transit Jupiter and transit Saturn. When do the native double luck, for example, both transit Saturn and transit Jupiter, transit Saturn and transit Jupiter both are aspecting natal Mercury, the native will definitely get through the examination, and ranks are that depends on the combination of planets. Venus, Jupiter, Rahu are there, or Sun are there with Mercury, he will get ranks. Double aspect will give double luck. And suppose Venus, transit Saturn, transit Jupiter, both are aspecting natal Venus. Venus is with friends Mercury, Rahu. So definitely Saturn, even Venus is with Saturn, Venus is with Rahu, Venus is with Mercury, or even Padma Yoga. So Venus, Mercury, Moon, Ketu. Whenever transit Jupiter or transit Saturn aspects Venus, definitely the native will purchase house or vehicle or marriage or female children or celebration in the house. So like that, he will purchase of luxury goods like that. And Jupiter, suppose Jupiter is with Sun in the horoscope. So whenever transit Jupiter, transit Rahu simultaneously at a time, aspecting natal Jupiter, Jupiter is with friends, Sun, so our Moon, definitely the native will get highest position in his field. Okay, so some questions, if anybody asks you, what will you say? Suppose when will I get job? What do we have to check? I am asking you, sir. If anybody is asking,
if it is related to job, then we will see the transit Jupiter or Saturn on natal Saturn.
yeah, natal Saturn, natal Jupiter also.
Yeah, natal Jupiter also.
If
right.
it is Saturn, it will aspect natal Jupiter.
Right.
If it is transit Jupiter, it will aspect natal Saturn. If it is transit Saturn, it should aspect natal Jupiter.
Right. Any
so
combination.
What about transfer? If anybody is asking transfer.
Moon. On Moon.
Yeah. If Jupiter is aspecting Moon or transit Saturn is aspecting Moon, we can predict. Foreign travel, same. Moon Rahu, Moon Ketu.
Right.
If transit Jupiter is aspecting Moon Rahu or Moon Ketu. If transit Saturn is aspecting Moon Rahu, Moon Ketu.
Right.
What about male marriage? Transit Saturn is aspecting Venus or transit Jupiter is aspecting natal Venus. But female marriage, transit Jupiter is aspecting Mars. The female native will get married. Transit Saturn is aspecting natal Mars, then there will be disputes with husband. So there will be disputes. Though the native will get marriage, there will be disputes. When do the native get jobs? Transit Jupiter is aspecting which planet? Saturn. Or transit Saturn is aspecting Jupiter, the native will get job, promotion or transfer. They have to check. And when will the native lose his job? Whenever transit Saturn aspects natal Ketu. This is very important point. Suppose somebody has come. So his Ketu is in Sagittarius. And now transit Saturn is in Capricorn. So generally, when was transit Saturn supposed to transit over a natal Ketu in his horoscope? So it was around 19 to 20, right?
Mm.
So around 18, 19. So you should predict that. I think you lost your job around the 18, 19, 2018 or 2019. Am I right?
Right.
Yes, I lost my job. Suppose Ketu is in Scorpio, then what can you say? So around 16 to 17, I think you lost your job. Because transit Saturn was there during that time, 2017-18. So it was supposed to be in Scorpio. Approximately, I'm telling. So I'm not telling the exact timing, entering and leaving the house. Okay, we cannot remember everything. So approximately, we can predict like that because that is 2.5 years. That's why you take 2 years. Those 2 years, anything will take place regarding this. So if transit Saturn aspects natal Ketu, the native will lose his job. So, for example, Jupiter and Ketu are together. Then what will happen? Luckily, he will get promotion here because he will lose one job and he will get better job. So, these two chances are in two ways. One is leaving the present job and getting new job but better prospects with better prospects, or he will get promotion from low position to high position. Jupiter Ketu are together. Though Ketu is enemy to Saturn, but here Ketu is with Jupiter. So that's why Jupiter Ketu, that combination is Dvajakirti Yoga. Definitely the native will succeed. Like that we have to check. When the native will be involved in corporate things. Suppose the transit Saturn is, suppose some government officer has come. And generally, what problems they will have? They are government people. They are working government in the government sector. Somebody has come, so you understand he is government job. So when you, why generally he might be suspended or he might be terminated. So like this, if transit Saturn transited over Ketu previously, you can predict. That is one thing. And why he was generally such situations arise. So if transit Saturn transits over Rahu, then the native will be involved in corruption or such things. So corruption charges will be levied over such people. Okay. So corruption charges, they will be here allegation. There will be allegation regarding corruption charges. So like this we have to check. Rahu is corruption, and though some people you see, some people are very good people, but suppose Saturn and Rahu are together in their horoscope, definitely in somewhere it will be they will be involved in such things without their knowledge or with knowledge or without knowledge, whatever it may be, though they are good people. So you see, for example, if you take some collectors and some secretaries to the ministry, the minister generally involved in corruption. First, who will become victim? The secretary who did the sign. First sign, generally, if the secretary put the sign only, it will be kept on the table of the minister. So by on the force of minister, he will be constrained. The native might be constrained to put a signature. But when it comes to light, so first the collector or whatever the secretary will be here suspended, terminated. Okay. So like that, such people generally, whenever Saturn is transiting over Rahu, these people will be involved in corruption, and these people will be suspended, or these things whenever transit Saturn is aspecting natal Ketu. So transit Saturn aspects natal Ketu, they will be suspended, and there will be CBI and ED raids like this. Rahu time, they will be involved in corruption. Ketu time, whenever during the time when transit Saturn was over Rahu, they will be involved in corruption, and it will come to limelight after the Saturn comes to the house where natal Ketu is posited. So such things will happen. Okay, this is Saturn.
Okay.
And we will continue next Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, have a good day.
Okay, sir.